The screen said
I
it,
know, it
but
like
is
did the
it
countdown.
true?
Yeah. Can we trust technology? No.
Let's see here. It shows that we are.
Nice.
Yay.
Woo!
Yep, there it is. Fancy.
Wow. So thank you, Be Live. Whatever you did to fix your website, we are suddenly able to stream on the YouTube. So welcome everyone to the first live stream on YouTube. Hopefully we'll see some old faces that we haven't heard from in a while, because we've been doing all these shows live on Facebook lately, and I was actually just starting the process of finally getting those past few episodes on the YouTube channel to try to get people caught up, and so this is a good thing, because that's going to save me a lot of time and trouble now if we're able to just stream straight to YouTube, and then pretty much don't have to worry about editing or anything anymore. Just let it be.
Right.
Yep.
So hopefully you guys are. I put a message on the Facebook page. Hopefully you guys see that and not waiting to see us. There's Javier. What's up, buddy?
How's it going, man?
Hello.
Hopefully everyone saw the post and will be jumping on our YouTube page and not waiting on us on the Facebook page. I know that's what we've been doing for the last month or two, but this is what we wanted to do all along, is the YouTube side, and now all of a sudden it works, and this is where we're going to stay.
Yeah. I just posted the link to our Facebook page as well, so hopefully that'll bring over some more people.
Sweet. Yeah.
All right, down there. Go. Okay. Dog wanted up in my lap, but she's a big old wussy and won't jump off of the hardwood floor. So I have to pick her up.
So, great to see you too, Javier. Thanks, man. We promise we're trying not to miss episodes, but like we said, things happen, so we're trying to stay consistent.
Yes.
But as people are hopefully going to start coming in, this week's album, of course, is the Spacewalk tribute to Ace Frehley album. No, Javier, it's not Live to Win. Not yet.
It's too bad. Too bad it's not.
Yeah.
Now, is it tribute or salute? Because it's like two completely different things online.
Is it tribute or what?
Or what? Is it tribute or salute?
Salute. Oh, I guess either way.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of mean the same thing, but it's like there's like debate apparently online about the proper title for this.
Well, some of the songs on here I would consider an insult. Not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, I guess once again we have to start off with a little bit of sad news. This happened since the last show, and since obviously we weren't on last week, we had another loss in the KISS community. J.R. Smalling. Everyone knows, his biggest claim to fame probably was, he's the voice at the beginning of the first Alive, and so now, he's kind of become that mythical kind of person now. With his voice will be on there forever, and that's how everyone kind of remembers him.
Yeah.
And then of course
the father of that saying.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, one of the original KISS roadies, and all that good stuff. They had put out, JR and a couple of the other guys put out a book a few years back. I never read it yet. Maybe wouldn't mind trying to read it now that JR's unfortunately gone. I never had a chance to meet him. I don't know about you guys. One of those people I was hoping that maybe would show up at a expo soon, but unfortunately never happened. At least any of the ones that I went to. Rest in peace, J.R. Smalling. It's like, man, 2 weeks in a row, as far as our shows, we got bad news to start with, losing people in the Kiss family again. So sucks.
Yeah.
All right. Welcome anyone else that has popped in. Please say hello. We want to know who you are.
Want to know you.
I'd like to get to know you.
But wouldn't you like to know me?
Javier, what'd you think of the book? You say you just finished it. I know Javier didn't have the greatest review of Live to Win, so he was like, "Oh, I don't want to spoil it for you." But no worries, man. There's a lot of these albums that we go into, and sometimes we'll each tell each other some hints, and we you know what I mean? We kind of get the wrong idea going into it, but then sometimes we're pleasantly surprised. So don't worry about it, man. By the time we get to Live to Win, I'll forget all about it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've done a whole lot of junk. I can't imagine Paul Stanley on his worst day musically is as bad as even half of the stuff we've done already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
I feel like even on a bad day, he's still just a phenomenal performer and stuff.
I just watched that video clip the other day, finally, of him and the Soul Station. They were doing, I want to say Tracks of My Tears by Smokey Robinson and the Miracles. And it was one of those where, they were all, I assume they did it via Zoom or something. They were all at their own houses, of course. And I thought it sounded good. Paul had a great sounding voice singing that kind of stuff. I've always thought he sounded well, what I've heard of the Soul Station. And I know they've been working on an album. I have no clue if it's even done or what the process is, but I know I would definitely pick it up when it's out, and it'd be cool to see hopefully some kind of little mini tour or something for Soul Station 2 would be nice. Javier says it was okay. There are some pages that were scanned documents that were really difficult. Yeah, I think I remember hearing some reviews back when it first came out. Oh, yeah, you're right, Javier. It was Ooh Baby Baby, yeah. But not Tracks of My Tears, yeah. You're right. But yeah, very good. But yeah, as far as that book, I feel like I remember a little bit of criticism from different places coming towards that book about scanned documents and certain pictures that they chose to use and whatever, but whatever, it is what it is.
For sure.
They got to live that dream. None of us did.
Yeah. Good Lord.
Well, all right. I guess we'll just kind of get rolling then. Hopefully some more people will be showing up as we go. So again, in case anyone's just popping in, if you can't tell from the title, we're doing the Spacewalk Ace Frehley album. We'll just call it that.
Yes.
Kind of similar to the Kiss My Ass, type of thing as far as, different artists doing the songs, but more focused on the Ace Frehley stuff this time. So of course, since we missed a week there, we've got some comments and polls to catch up on. polls for this week have not been posted yet. We will get those posted later today. So be looking out for those.
Indeed. So since we skipped a week, we've got 2 weeks of stuff to talk about then, right?
Mm-hmm.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So the first one we got to talk about here is "See You Tonight" versus "Raise Your Glasses." Wow. Crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This doesn't look right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Did I post 7 one week? I don't know. So yeah, good stuff there. "See You Tonight" won that one with 73% of that vote. We also posted "Let Me Go Rock and Roll" versus "Thrills in the Night." That one was really difficult for me. I don't know about you guys.
Oh yeah.
"Let Me Go Rock and Roll." Yeah. "Let Me Go Rock and Roll" with 58%, so real close.
I don't mind that song. I don't mind that song, but I feel like "Thrills in the Night" is a stronger song, personally.
Yeah,
but it's one of my favorite albums too. So I mean,
right.
I'm
trying to remember. I think I went with "Thrills in the Night" because I love "Let Me Go," but I prefer a live version over that. That with all that extended stuff. But
right. A 2 from Unmasked. We posted "What Makes the World Go Round" versus "Torpedo Girl." "Torpedo Girl" came out on the top of that one with 63%.
I think that's the one I went with.
Yeah, I think I went with that one too.
I don't remember that now. 2 weeks ago. I don't even remember 20 minutes ago. So. Oh yes, I do. I was making mixers. That's pretty much all I do. If I guess making KitchenAid mixers for anything, that's probably correct. We also posted "Going Blind" versus "Childhood's End." Going Blind, just absolute blowout there. 84% of that vote.
Jeez.
Yeah. "Wouldn't You Like to Know Me" versus "Fractured Mirror," which I thought was a really interesting matchup. Paul's solo and Ace's solo they're usually the ones people argue whose was the best of the 4 solo albums. In this particular case, people chose "Wouldn't You Like to Know Me" with 64% of that vote.
Yay!
Yeah. I think that got the edge for me only because it's an actual song with vocals. Fractured Mirror is cool, but if it had vocals to it, okay.
Yeah.
There's a decent chance I would have picked "Fractured Mirror" over almost any other Paul solo song, but that one, I gotta give it to "Wouldn't You Like to Know Me" for that one.
Hey Steve, I did see your message pop up. I think Luke saw it too, so we will definitely get your guys' picks added in there.
Yep. We also posted "Mr. Speed" versus "Gimme More." I think I voted for "Gimme More" on this one just because I knew that it wasn't going to win and I wanted it to have some votes. I really like "Gimme More." I've always thought that was a strong song on Lick It Up that people generally ignore. But "Mr. Speed" is also one of my favorite songs on Rock and Roll Over. So, "Mr. Speed" won this one with 83% of that vote.
Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I said, 9 times out of 10, if it's something, original 4, from that first era, it's up against anything. It's
Yep. So that was 2 weeks ago. The ones that we posted last week, and now unusually, you can still go vote on these right now if you haven't yet. This poll doesn't technically end until I think Sunday morning. So the results that we're going to give you right now are probably final, but not necessarily. So if you haven't voted, go get those in right now. Most of the ones this week were blowouts, so really interesting. I guess some of them aren't really surprises, but So our first one is Ladies' Room versus All for the Love of Rock and Roll. So, following the logic from what you were just saying, right now, Ladies' Room has 95% of that vote.
Good Lord. I've been for a while. So.
Yeah, same. We have the Rock and Roll Over version of See You in Your Dreams versus Betrayed. Excuse me. See You in Your Dreams with 71% of that vote right now.
See, again.
I'm really upset about these. That's why I'm choking.
He's for Clint.
Got him choking up.
Yeah. Speaking of me being very upset, and I know that this is committing Kiss sacrilege, When Lightning Strikes versus Talk to Me. Talk to Me is winning with 83% of that vote, and I'm super mad about that.
Talk to Me goes to the second round.
God, it'll get knocked out in the next round, though.
Talk to Me is going to make it to the final four. Watch.
I know that most Kiss fans would burn me at the stake for saying that a Tommy song is better than an Ace song, but I freaking hate Talk to Me.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll be perfectly honest. If Talk to Me was up against Out of This World, I would probably pick Out of This World, to be honest.
Yeah. It's a good song. And I've always liked When Lightning Strikes. I think it's a little dumb that it's about lightning. That was a little on the nose of them. But
Luke,
what?
If Talk to Me was against New York Groove, what would you pick?
No, you know what? I might pick Talk to Me there.
Yeah.
That might be what did it. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel it. I'm not happy about that either.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like When Lightning Strikes, because it's like, oh hey, you're playing the spaceman, but even though you've never went through a near-death experience by getting electrocuted, why don't you write a song about lightning striking you?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I think they were playing a little too hard on the characters.
Right.
There. But good song. We also have King of the Nighttime World versus Only You. And man, was I worried Only You was not going to get any votes.
I figured it would, but definitely not going to win.
No, yes, and it did, yeah. So that's the good news. So far in all of these matchups for the first round, we haven't had a single song that got 0 votes. Not once. Not even when they were stupidly obvious choices. Kind of like this one, a big original 4 song versus a song that's not even generally that well liked on an album that's not generally that well liked. And I was really worried it was going to get no votes just because it was up against King of the Nighttime World. Now, it did get some. King of the Nighttime World is still blowing it out of the water with 96% of the vote. But I can live with the fact that we should make it to the end of round 1 without any song just getting 0 votes. That would bother me a little bit, I think.
Yeah, I'm pretty positive. I mean,
it has to make you wonder, though. Like, what Kiss song does nobody like? You know what I mean? Compared to like some other ones, you know.
I mean, again, it's like so many people have their own opinions. You know, you had those one idiots that were saying they despise Black Diamond and stuff like that. So it's like,
it would just be interesting to see collectively how many people would vote for just one side of something because they just really don't like the other song. You know what I mean? Like everybody on the same page about that opinion. You know what I mean? Like that would be interesting to see happen, but I doubt it ever will.
I mean, I personally don't have any songs that I'm like, oh my God, I absolutely hate it. I won't listen to that. But yeah, there's songs I don't quite prefer, but I don't like hate them with a passion either. So
yeah,
you know.
Definitely.
But we've probably said this before, but some of these first round things were hard as hell, and once we get to round 2, that's going to be hard enough as it is, let alone round 3 and everything.
I feel like it's
I mean,
just, get harder and harder.
Yeah.
I
as
mean,
the
you talk
rounds
about
go.
like heavyweight match against heavyweight match. Every one of them is going to be like that.
I might be remembering wrong, but I'm pretty sure Detroit Rock City versus I Was Made for Loving You is in round 2.
See,
So,
right there.
Yeah, this is gonna be incredibly difficult.
And that's the Destroyer full version, like not double platinum version, correct? See, that's where it gets a little for me, because the way I've been about that version of Detroit Rock City on Destroyer. So that's where it could get a little interesting.
Yeah. We also posted Jungle versus We Are One. This was our only really close one this week, with We Are One taking the win at 59%.
Holy cow. I really expected Jungle to take that.
Yeah.
I was definitely expecting it too. The last match we posted from last week was Got to Choose versus Yes I Know Nobody's Perfect. What is going on here? People are blowing me up. Got to Choose, of course, with 98% of the vote, making Yes I Know Nobody's Perfect our lowest voted song.
Wow.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Is that
2% of the vote. Do what now?
Is that all of them? Or do you still have some more to go?
Yes. Nope, that's all of them. Although I was considering... Go ahead.
I was going to say, can you give us a preview of what the ones you're going to be posting are, just to kind of get that early reaction?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I can post them right now while we're doing this. Let's jump in. So this is going to be round 1, match 121. Man, we are next week is the end of round 1, I'm pretty sure.
Oh wow. I got to say too, I just took a peek at Steve and Rochelle's picks for this Spacewalk, and I got to say we're pretty much on the same board with most of the picks this time.
I haven't looked yet. That'll be interesting. All right, so we're kicking it off hardcore this week. Our first matchup is Domino versus Shandy.
Oh, see right there.
Oh, what?
Yeah, and that is posted right now.
I gotta go with Domino.
All day, for some reason. I said Shandy's been stuck in my head, along with Hard Luck Woman, all day.
Wow.
Could do a mashup and call it Hard Luck Shandy.
That right there is a matchup that should be like second round at least. I mean,
yeah.
There
you go. So and that's what we said.
Right.
Some of these heavy ones are going to get knocked out the first round, and that's just the way it goes. So.
Right.
Yeah.
A couple of weirder ones for our second matchup: Tunnel of Love versus Get All You Can Take.
See, those are two songs again that I'm not that crazy about, but I'll have to give that some thought.
Yeah, very interesting. That's one of the ones on the Gene album that I'm a little... whereas I like most of Animalize. I might give it to Get All You Can Take on that one.
I remember I wasn't real big on Tunnel of Love when we did the Gene album because, the clever innuendos. Ooh.
Yeah.
The corny innuendos.
Here's one that'll be obvious to some, but not to Savannah or I. Firehouse versus Who Wants to Be Lonely.
Yeah. That's a no-brainer for me.
Yeah. I think, again, it's going to come down to that original four formula, regardless.
I think so. Yep. Yep, I agree.
Oh yeah, you got to
Okay.
pussies over in Kiss Army too.
Oh yeah, I had been debating as to whether to do that or to start posting round 2 over there.
Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah, maybe wait till round 2. Be a little more spicy.
Right, since it's only a couple weeks.
Spicy.
Yeah. Okay, dokie. Our next one, Hooked on Rock and Roll versus Strange Ways.
Again, I'm not a fan of either of those Eric songs on Sonic Boom and Monster.
No, it's a Peter solo song.
Oh, God, it's too similar.
Yeah.
And that's up against what now?
Strange Ways.
Oh, God, so the Battle of the Peters.
Yeah, definitely.
Clever innuendo.
Wrong cover for Strange Ways. What's he mean?
Wrong cover for Strange Ways. Oh, no. Yeah, you're right. Javier, that one's on Hotter Than Hell, isn't it?
Yeah. What'd you put?
Oh, I put it Love Gun like an idiot. That's the only time I've done that wrong. Dang it.
I wish it was on Love Gun, because then Ace probably would have sang it.
That's true. Dang it. You got me.
Oh, you're distracted, so
right. We'll get that fixed. Our next one, Wall of Sound versus You Make Me Rock Hard.
Again, those Eric songs, I just no.
And one more for this week. Oh, jeez. Cadillac
give it to me.
Dreams. Cadillac Dreams versus Great Expectations.
Great Expectations all the way.
See, I don't like Great Expectations that much.
Nope.
Compared to Cadillac Dreams, I do.
Yeah, that's definitely not my favorite from Hot in the Shade there.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can fix that Strange Ways one.
Javier wasted no time and voted already.
Yes, thank you, sir. Get in here so that I can fix that. Javier, you might have to re-vote the Strange Ways one because it might make me delete that poll to fix the picture. I'm not sure if it'll let me change a picture.
We should just make Javier our podcast manager.
Yes.
It's on top of it.
Yep, I can't edit that once it's already had votes. Okay.
Javier needs to come on the show with us.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
So real quick, went down to Trader's World over the weekend, found a couple more Kiss and related 45s. Pretty cool in here. I've never seen this before. It's Into the Night, Frehley's Comet. It's the promo, same song on both sides. And then we got Shock Me and Christine 16. And then ran across another Japanese single. This one is Tomorrow and Naked City.
Oh, that's cool.
Nice.
Very, very cool. Love these Japanese.
Yeah.
Definitely trying to find more and more as I go. So very cool.
That is the good stuff. Yes.
Yes.
I always forgot Facebook won't let me vote until I refresh the page. It's like Facebook's telling me, no, that's the wrong choice. Okay, so match 124 is reposted now with the correct picture. Thank you, Javier, for pointing that out, because I would have felt like an absolute moron if I would have left that.
Yeah, let me.
You should have said anything and just seen how long it would have went.
Ugh. If I thought I was getting torn apart sharing into the kiss room just with these polls,
Oh yeah.
imagine how bad they would have freaked out if I would have put the wrong album cover on one of them. Oops.
Whoa! Surprisingly, at the moment, with 5 total votes, Shandy is winning.
Wow.
60-40 right now.
I'm surprised. Nice.
That's been like what, 5 minutes that you posted it.
Yeah. Believe it or not, with my vote, Firehouse and Who Wants to Be Lonely is 50-50. All right, there's that taken care of. Sweet.
Well, Javier, we don't even use Skype anymore ourselves. We're using this website called Be Live, and all I'd have to do is send you a link, and you'll be able to just, as long as you got your webcam, you'll be able to jump right on the same thing with us. So it's definitely a lot easier than Skype, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And as far as doing the live streaming, we found that this is the way to do it too. So that's why we've pretty much done away with using Skype. And again, it saves a lot of time, so I don't have to go back and edit down the episodes much anymore, if at all. So let us know sometime, man. I mean, we'll make it work. Steve, you guys need to come on here again too, and whoever. So
Definitely. We got some good ones coming up, especially that Greatest Kiss.
oh yeah, that's gonna be a fun one.
Yep.
I am just getting in Steve and Rochelle's votes.
I gotta tell you guys the story. So, do you guys watch The Masked Singer? Do you watch The Masked Singer, Eli?
No, I've seen bits and pieces, but
I love it. Like, I think it's so cool. But there was a guy dressed like a banana. Okay? And they're trying to guess who it was. And they guessed that it could be a member of Kiss. And one of the judges looked at another one and was like, "Who's the lead singer of Kiss?" And the judge was like, "Oh yeah, it could be Gene Simmons." And I was like, I can't even with these judges right now. Like, I can't. And it ended up being Bret Michaels, might I add. But I was just like, I can't with these people. Like, I can't handle this right now. I was so disappointed.
please send Rochelle the link you mentioned. Yeah, what is it with the media? And after all these years, they still act like they're so like ignorant with Kiss. Like,
I know.
they think Gene's the lead singer. They think Bob Kulick was the guitarist in Kiss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that Gene just paved his way and his name so profoundly that it's like when you think of Kiss, like if you don't know that much about them and stuff, like you just think of Gene Simmons, because of the TV show he had, and all that stuff. Like he paved the way with his name in such a more profound way. You know what I mean? And I mean he does sing, but like I wouldn't call him the lead singer, like
No.
not at all.
Paul's
And
the lead singer because Paul's the one that does all the stage raps, and it's his band when it comes down to it. And
right, yeah. So it's like it's so frustrating when I see stuff like that. Like I just sat here on the couch, just like shaking my head. Like, are you people serious? Like, I can't even take you guys seriously. No matter what you say, I will never be able to take you serious ever again.
I mean, it's obvious that Gene is the most known member when it comes, especially to the
Yeah.
media and everything.
Right,
And
yes.
so it's easy for them to think that, oh, he's the leader and all that. But again, like, Paul is the one that obviously we all know does all the stage raps and talking, and yeah,
Right.
in the early days, yeah, before that was set to be where Paul is the guy. Sometimes Peter would even do the talking if you listen to some of them really, really early shows, and even Gene
Right.
here and there. But it gets to be too much when you got more than one guy yelling in the microphone. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah,
Yes, yes, yes.
definitely.
but Harry, what's up? Good to see you. Oh, Javier, you don't
Yeah.
have a webcam, dude. Go get
You can
one.
do
They're
it on your
cheap.
phone, I think.
Yeah, you probably
I'm
could.
pretty sure if you hit the link on your phone, I bet it would just open up your phone's camera.
That's probably true. I don't know if I'm not sure how that would work on the phone with Be Live. I don't know if they have like an app or. But dude, just go buy a webcam. They're cheap. Maybe $40 at the most for a decent enough one.
For sure. We need to get Harry on here too. We've never had Harry on here.
Yeah, Harry, you want to come on? I'll send you the link too. I just sent the link over to Steve and Rochelle, so we'll see if they pop in all of a sudden and want to join us.
Absolutely. We've been jamming some Kiss songs on some weekends with Harry.
Oh yeah,
Harry's doing a killer job singing those songs.
absolutely.
Yeah, it does look like there's a Be Live app.
Okay. So yeah, Javier, maybe try that. Download the Be Live app, and then once you got that all set up, I can send you that link, and then that should be all you have to do is enter that in. No bullshit, Harry. You do sound good. We're not blowing smoke.
Yes, you do. Nope.
Or are you saying sure as far as joining us on here? I'm not sure what you meant. He said if you say
He just said if you say so.
Well, I guess let's kind of get started with info then, and if anyone else pops in wanting to join, then we'll add them as we go.
Yeah. All right, so it's kind of hard to find a lot of info for this album. As far as Wikipedia goes, the only place you can even find this is a weird, like, Italian version of Wikipedia. Most of it is in a different language. Italian, I imagine. But yeah, there's not an American Wikipedia or an English Wikipedia page that you can go to for this. Basically this just says it was released in 1996. Doesn't give a month or an actual date. Of course, there wasn't really an overall producer. Each artist produced their own thing and sent it in, and then a guy named Billy Sherwood mixed it all. All of these songs were written by Ace, except Hard Luck Woman. Not really sure who had the bright idea putting that one on there, but I think that's the only one on here. Now, this Italian Wikipedia page also lists two other songs, a song called Take Me to the City, which I have no clue what that even is, and also a version of Save Your Love, supposedly by Sebastian Bach. Now, I couldn't find either of those tracks on YouTube through conventional means. I eventually found that version of Save Your Love as part of a different tribute to Ace, and it doesn't sound anything like the rest of these songs that are on here. There was debate in the comments of that video on YouTube as to whether it even really was Sebastian Bach, and yeah, it didn't sound like him at all. So I'm not sure where
I
this
bet it was
Wikipedia
then.
page.
He has like one of the most like unique sounds to his voice. Like when you hear him sing, you know it's him. So like,
Mhm.
if it didn't sound like him, more than likely it probably wasn't him.
Right. So yeah, I'm not sure where this Wikipedia page got either of these other tracks because no version of this album that I could find anywhere had anything more than the 10. So,
Now, if I'm not mistaken, because I think I peeked at those Wikipedias too, I want to say it's "Take Me to the City" supposedly has Ace actually playing on that track, correct?
yeah, that's what this Wikipedia says. Yeah.
So that, I wonder if maybe that was just a whole new song that maybe he did for that. That's interesting. But
Yeah,
yeah,
something.
I had a hell of a time finding this album. I ended up just getting on iTunes and finding it, and I think I paid $10 for it. I
Wow.
couldn't find it, on torrents or the other cheap site that I use for MP3s and whatnot. So I was like, screw it, $10, whatever, I'll buy it. Good to have it in a way.
You're right.
Javier, it's that time again for work. Yeah, like I said, man, we might still be going at it when you get home. Pop on in and download that app, and if you need some help, let me know, and maybe next week or whenever you can join us if we get that all set up. So be safe getting home, man.
Definitely.
Sure.
A huge cast of characters on this, which I'm sure we'll get into as we go song to song.
Harry has it on cassette. That's impressive. I didn't know it was on cassette.
Nice.
Pretty cool though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We do have Steve and Rochelle's votes. Just real quick, both of them gave this 7 out of 10. Steve's top 3, Rip It Out.
Well,
what's that?
Well, I was assuming that he was going to join us here, so then he could have just went through his picks with us, but I guess go ahead.
Right. Let's see. Oh, yeah, his top 3, Rip It Out, Rock Bottom, and Fractured Mirror. And Rochelle also gave this 7 out of 10. Her top 3, Deuce, Hard Luck Woman, and Fractured Mirror.
There you go.
So, yep, we're doing good on that. Anybody else has votes? Throw them in there. Harry, especially. Harry, it was you that suggested we do this album.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get some votes in here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This episode is basically your baby.
It is, yeah. It's gonna say that right at the beginning of the episode. Destination Podcast 4K, the second coming. This episode dedicated to Harry Mills.
Yep. We're gonna Photoshop a picture of Harry giving birth to the cassette.
I'm gonna close my eyes while that's happening.
If I close my eyes forever. All right, let's get into it.
Yeah.
So, much like Kiss My Ass, we start this album off with Deuce as well, except this time it is done by Marty Friedman, who many may know from his time with Megadeth, probably most famously. Fantastic guitarist. But this version is number 9 for me, so actually next to last. I thought the guitar sounded good on this one, but wasn't a big fan of the vocal delivery on this. And I like the fact that they kind of started to end the track the way the live version goes with Kiss, but then it's like they all of a sudden just like gave up or something in the middle of it, and it just kind of abruptly ends. And I don't know if they forgot what to play or what, or whose idea that was, but I wasn't too thrilled with the way they just kind of suddenly ended it, because at first I'm like, oh yeah, this is cool, a studio version with the live ending, and then it just kind of like, it was like, what happened?
Just stops. Yeah.
Yeah, number 9 for me.
This one was number 7 for me. I felt like it was a fairly good cover. it just kind of felt slow to me. Like maybe tempo. Yeah,
Temple.
can't talk today. The tempo felt slower than the Kiss version to me. I mean, I don't know if it actually was, but it just felt that way. I don't know if it because I wasn't a huge fan of that vocalist either. But I mean, he didn't do horrible. It just I don't know. It was just odd the flow of this song. Um, and the drums just they sounded flat to me. They just didn't quite have that like pop to them that I like to hear, especially with that snare.
Sounded fake.
But yeah, yeah, for sure. But Marty Friedman, I mean, he did an awesome job on the guitar solos, and I mean, they were just banging. So I definitely liked that part of it. But yeah, the rest of it was just kind of. I was hoping for better. I'll just say that. So yeah, it was number 7 for me.
Yeah. Eli, did you see most of the drums on this album was Scott Travis?
Yeah, I did.
How surprising is that? That's not a name I expected to see. The guy from Judas Priest, he's the guy who played the famous Painkiller drums intro.
Yeah, I was because for some reason, well, of course I don't have a physical copy, but I saw no mention, and then when I happened to look at that Wikipedia, I was like, "Whoa, no kidding!"
Yeah, yeah. So Deuce was number 5 for me. Yeah, I didn't mind the production at first. It had a lot of bass in it, and not necessarily bass guitar. I mean, like whoever mastered the album put a lot of the low frequencies in there.
Yeah,
And that got to be a little, yeah, it got to be a little much sometimes. Um,
no, that
sorry.
is, yeah, that's perfect because when I was playing this thing, I'm like, Steve's getting the bikini legs at the moment.
Sorry, that's why I didn't mean to laugh like right in the middle of you talking, but like
I didn't know Dio Dan was out on bail.
Oh no!
oh no.
Oh,
no.
Steve's too old for that.
But I don't know. Have you ever seen him in a dress and pigtails? But anyway, as I was listening to this, I'm like, God, there's a lot of bass coming out, and I'm like, is it my settings all of a sudden? Like, like what is going on? Like I'm sitting here, fumbling with the EQ and stuff, and but yeah, I noticed that too. So I was hoping it wasn't just my stereo. So maybe, I guess I have to blame the album on that.
Right. Just probably whoever mastered it turned the slider up a little bit too far. Now this kind of starts. Do what?
Talk about hearing the bass and feeling it, like Savannah mentions every time. It's like, geez, you really got your fix this time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it wasn't so good this time.
Yeah. This song starts. The only kind of like minor complaint that I have about this was towing the line between staying true to the original but still doing your own thing, but without going too far into doing your own thing. And this one, it felt a little bit too much just like the original thing. The actual guitar solo felt really subdued, especially from Marty Friedman. Now, he stayed true to the original solo, which is fine, but I was kind of hoping he'd let loose a little more, like he did in the end. The ending, like, outro solo was a little bit more what I was expecting. I was just kind of hoping he'd put a little bit more Marty into the main solo.
Uh-huh. Absolutely. Next up, we have Shock Me, done by Gilby Clarke. Most famously, I believe he was with Guns N' Roses for a period of time. But yep. God, this is my number 10, least favorite on the album. This thing is a piece of trash. This was an absolutely horrible version of Shock Me, and it should not have been included on this album. From the drums that sound fake as all get out to the lyrics, both the delivery and the fact that he sang some of the wrong words. The solo was nowhere near the album version. He just did his own thing. It just makes me wonder if he ever actually heard the real song before. And it's like they just asked him to do it because of his name, and he just slopped it together. But I was totally expecting more from the name and being Shock Me. It's like arguably the most popular Ace song. So, but God, it was just a god awful version. Never want to hear that again.
I don't want to read my review.
I will listen to Lulu again before this crap.
Oh my god.
Okay, I like this. It was my number 6. It wasn't high on my list, but I mean,
True.
vocally, I think he has like almost like a punk rock vibe to his voice.
Why?
It's more gritty than Ace. I don't know.
It doesn't fit.
Well, I mean, it's more gritty than Ace's, but I mean, I didn't mind that because I don't like Ace's voice, so
Why?
it's not really that. Yeah. And I mean, I feel like the drums sounded better in this one, but even though it was still by the same person that did the last one. But I'm saying why to you because that you're wrong. I think he did a great job on the guitar. Like I think those solos were fine. Like
Thank you, Steve. Needed to learn how to play the solo. The best Ace solo in this turd butchered.
Boo.
That's
it.
Number 10 for me on this one. Yeah. I pretty much agree with everything Eli said on this. This is taking one of Ace's really good songs and just rubbing mud on it, and then rubbing it in the mud, and then rubbing that mud on a different pile of mud.
Can we like voice? Can we even mention like just the intro drum piece, like how horrible and crappy that is?
Yeah, and this guy is capable of so much more than Peter. Why couldn't he even just do this? And it makes you wonder again if Scott Travis hadn't even heard the song, maybe Gilby specifically told him like just kind of do your own thing here, you know.
It's atrocious.
Yeah, so it's the changed lyrics bothered me. I didn't care for his voice. The chorus just isn't right without those harmonies. He went the same complaint I had in the last song, only he went to the opposite end of the spectrum. He went way too much into his own territory. And then to me, it kind of feels like, why bother doing a cover if it's not even hardly recognizable to the original song? He just plays a solo with one of the hugest sins that for me personally that I don't like, which is just slapping a wah on it. You know, it just feels so cheap and probably one take and it's good. Whatever.
Well, thankfully, next up we have Rip It Out by Scott Ian from Anthrax, of course, and not to mention Charlie Benante is on drums on this as well. So this is my number 3. Definitely went into this one with way more faith, knowing how big of a fan of Kiss that Scott and Charlie is, and let alone the guys in Anthrax, but definitely Scott and Charlie. So far, and again, I know we're only 3 songs in at this point, but so far this one felt the closest to the original version. Although it was a bit faster than the original, but yet again, Scott just pretty much nailed it. Charlie too, for that matter, the drum fill and just the guitar tone and the solo and everything. Just it was pretty much spot on. So definitely, like I said, I went into this pretty much assuming just by seeing that it was Scotty and that it was going to be well done and taken care of.
Yeah, this was my number 4, and I mean it was a great cover all around. I think they did a great job on it. They hit the groove just right on it, and I mean the elements all came together right, whereas before they were kind of like fighting against each other throughout it. So far, these ones, I mean, it came together right, and it actually it flowed just right. The drums definitely sounded so much better in this song. And vocally, he just did a great job on this song. And I'm not the hugest fan of Scott Ian, but I mean, I like him, but I mean, he just did a great job for it being something that isn't. I mean, when you think of Scott Ian singing "Kiss," you know what I mean? Like, it's just you wouldn't think that he would do
This wasn't him
such a great
singing.
job on it. Because oh, well, who sang it then?
Zach Throne sang it, the guy who plays bass with Bruce Kulick now.
Oh, okay. Well, still though, I mean, he did a great job with the guitar work and stuff on it. And I guess that guy, Zach Throne, he did a great job vocally. Like I don't even really know who that is. So,
Have
but
you
he did a
guys
good
seen
job.
Charlie Benante's YouTube channel where he's been posting his jam sessions?
No.
Well, recently they've been doing them where they've pulled out some of the Stormtroopers of Death stuff. So it's like him and Scott Ian, and then it's the original bass player that was on the very first Anthrax album, and then he went in. I think he was with Nuclear Assault most of the time, and then they brought in freaking Mike Patton to do the vocals, and
Wow.
they were doing a couple Stormtroopers of Death songs on there. Really cool stuff, especially with Mike Patton. I mean, he's killer.
Yeah. This one was also my number 3. Really enjoying the production similarities between this version and the original version. It was a really nice reproduction that isn't exactly the same, but very reminiscent of. And of course, I had to note Zach Throne. You know, like, oh man, that guy freaking nails Gene vocals when they do '80s era Gene Kiss songs.
Yeah.
And here he is nailing Ace. You know, Ace vocals. Yeah, you know, I did really enjoy. Do what?
Luke, was he the one that when you showed me the video on the Kiss cruise when they were on there, that when they did Time Traveler, is that guy?
Well, he wasn't singing Time Traveler, but he was the guy playing bass in that video. Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. Pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Scott Ian did a killer job on the solo, although he stayed almost note for note true to the original, and that's way better than what Gilby Clarke did. I totally prefer a note for note reproduction, but again, it just would have been nice to have a little bit more Scott in there, you know. And then, of course, I heard someone say "ack" in the background, and that was amazing.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot to make note of that at the end.
Yeah.
I think there was a little. They said a little line from that Tom Snyder thing too.
Yeah.
Now I can't remember.
But, yeah, it was amazing.
So Harry scores the album 8 out of 10. Top 3: Fractured Mirror, Rock Bottom, and Deuce.
Nice.
All right, so next up we have Hard Luck Woman. This is by Ron Young and Jeff Watson. I'm not familiar with either of these guys. This is my number 7. We kind of already said this a little bit earlier, but definitely not a song that I expected to be on an Ace Frehley tribute album. Not sure who was singing because, again, I haven't heard of either of these guys, but at times I thought it almost sounded like John Mayer was singing. Got to say, though, not a bad version of the song, but it obviously doesn't hold a candle to Garth Brooks and, you know, obviously the original version as well. But again, like, why put this on an Ace tribute album? It's another mind boggler.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was number 9 for me. I'm not the biggest fan of Ron Young's voice, and I don't think he doesn't have a bad voice. It's just because this is such a Peter song that I don't think he really fit it that well. You know what I mean? It's like he didn't have even similarities to Peter at all, I don't think. And so it kind of ruined it almost vocally. But then the guitar sounded so layered. It sounded like there was like 12 guitars playing at one time. And I mean, it wasn't exactly in a bad way, but in the Kiss version, it's such a soft song almost because of just the simplicity of like the one guitar sound, you know. And I think that's what just makes it so great is just that simplicity of it, you know. There's not a whole lot of complexity to it. And the layered sound that I was hearing, it almost made it just too much. And those drums again, man. Same drummer as the first two. And I think it's that snare sound, man. I'm not liking it at all because it just doesn't have it just kind of it has like a tap instead of like a pop, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? It just takes away
No
from the
body
all
to it.
around sound. Right, no body at all, and it's like it's hard not to focus on anything else almost. So it kind of just all like blended together, and it just I don't know. It just like you said, it can't hold a candle to the Garth Brooks version or even the original version at all. So
Steve
yeah,
says
that's
Jeff
number nine
Watson
for
played lead guitar with Brad Gillis and Night Ranger. Okay, thank you. Because I was going to ask, like, where are these guys from?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I was just looking at that as well. Ron Young does not have a Wikipedia page, but yeah, Jeff Watson, Night Ranger. Yeah, Hard Luck One
Who is
was my
this
number
Ron Young?
6. I noted the same thing. I did not like this guy's voice. It sounds like he's constipated and he's singing out of his nose. And just
Yes. Oh, that's
yeah,
awesome.
it doesn't fit. Doesn't fit at all.
I know someone else that sings like that.
Yeah. And then Scott Travis didn't bring the drums in until the middle of the verse, like the double platinum version, which I personally very much dislike.
Mm-hmm.
I like the drums coming in like they do on the Rock and Roll Over version. So I don't know. Overall, it wasn't shocked me bad, but I didn't like it.
True. All right, next we have Snowblind by Jeff Snake Soto. My number 2. What?
Sabo.
Sapo?
Sabo.
Sabo.
Yeah,
Snake Sabo.
Sabo. Sabo. Yeah.
Why did the knave got a spelling error on this thing?
That's that's funny.
Yeah. All
Well,
right,
you're
iTunes.
just correcting everybody, Luke.
Huh?
I said you're just correcting everybody, Luke.
Yeah.
What?
Says the guy that posted Love Gun for Strange Ways.
Yeah. All right, fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I'm gonna complain to iTunes now. I want my money back.
Yeah, exactly. They put the last name of I thought of Jeff Scott Soto when you said that, the singer. That
Maybe they got
played
married
Journey.
and they didn't know it.
Yeah. Now this is the dude from Skid Row, right?
Well, that's what I figured because when I saw Snake and I'm like Soto, I'm like Sabo because I immediately I think of that guitar magazine where Ace and Dime and Snake are together. So I'm like, why is it? Oh well. Anyway, this is my number 2. Fan freaking tastic. This one again was very close to the original. I like how it was even heavier than the original. The solo again was spot on. Love the added double bass that went into that section as well. I thought it was sung very well as well. And man, again, coming from another, huge Ace fan, Kiss fan in general, definitely did the song justice and delivered it really well. Loved it.
Yep, this was my number 5. And the vocalist, he kind of had like almost kind of sounded like Ace a little bit. He had a little bit of an Ace vibe to his, at least during the verses. Now, when it came to like the choruses, it was a little more gritty. But when he sang the verses, I mean, he could easily, I think, have been mistaken for Ace. And that solo from Snake, man, it was amazing. Like that was so good. And it was heavier. You know,
Yeah.
I've always liked Skid Row a lot because of the guitar and the solos that he does, and their stuff are always just so good. I mean, he has a great tone too, and I think it just fit this song awesome. They did a fantastic job on this cover. I loved it.
Yeah, it was very signature Soda.
Yes, for sure.
Yes.
Soto, go Soto.
100%. Yeah, number 2 for me as well on this one. I just about prefer this to the original, even,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
mind-boggling. The fact that it was so much heavier, it's that guitar tone, that harder guitar tone, just really gave the song a different life. The occasional pinched harmonics, but not too much, like it would have been if Zakk Wylde had played it. Sorry, Harry. They were a nice touch. Yeah, and I really liked the vocals. I wasn't sure at first, but when it hit that first chorus and he go, "I'm so blind," it was like, oh man, yeah, that was perfect. Weird ending, but again, it suited it. It suited the whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh, who's Jason McMaster? Where's that name coming from, Steve?
He is the vocalist on that song.
Oh, okay, cool. From Dangerous Toys, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we come to another diehard Kiss fan, Rock Bottom by Sebastian Bach, or Sebastian Mozart, as they probably would have typed. But,
Sebastian Beethoven.
Number 4 for me. Really, killer job. Again, I didn't expect anything less from him, being a diehard fan, and that's really straight and to the point. I felt like that's really all I need to be said about it. I mean, it was just a good, solid version of the song, and I didn't feel like too much was super different, but he just, again, does the song justice.
Yep. This was number 3 for me. I'm not sure that Sebastian Bach's vocals fit for a Kiss song very well, just because he has such a unique sound to his voice, and I don't think he did bad on it. It just was so out of place for him. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think he did bad at all. It was different.
Have you heard Skid Row's version of Come On and Love Me?
I don't think so.
Listen to that and then tell me his voice doesn't fit.
Well, maybe it was just this version or this song then that it didn't fit very well with. I'm gonna knock you out.
I'm cold to come
However, back. I did find out that Russ Parrish is actually Satchel from Steel Panther, and I did not know that. Yeah. And I was so like, that is the coolest thing ever, because I love Satchel. He's so cool, and he did a hell of a job on this song with the guitar and the solos. I had no idea that was his real name, and I'm not at all surprised to find out that it was him playing on it, like, at all. He's a phenomenal guitar player, and he just shredded this song in a way I didn't even think that it was possible to. So, like, I loved it. Like, I loved everything. Like, everything that he did, I think he just did a great job on it.
This was number 7 for me. Now Satchel from Steel Panther was not a name I was expecting to see on this. That's kind of interesting.
Hopefully the last time.
However, I kind of wish I wish I hadn't seen that, though. I expected more when I heard it, or when I saw that. This is a really blazing solo, but again, I just kind of wish it had a little bit of the original solo in there. This time it felt like it went too far in the other direction, where they just original solo out the window, I'll do my own thing, which only works under certain circumstances. Another thing I was a little disappointed with was the guitar tone on this. I felt like it could have been a bit better.
I quit. I'm done. You're all against me, and it's not fair.
Hey, Against Me is a good band.
There you go.
No.
But yeah, Satchel always has a really, really good guitar tone. So I don't know if maybe they intentionally tried to emulate something closer to the early Kiss tone or something. It just didn't hit me right.
Next we have Parasite by Tracy Guns. Number 8 for me. The only thing I noted on this one is the intro, man. I thought it was cool how each guitar kind of shared that intro riff. Definitely felt a little heavier too, but it's kind of hard to say with a song like Parasite because just about every cover you hear of it's heavy, and even the version Ace did recently. So, but I mean, other than that intro riff, again, I felt like it was pretty straightforward. So, just two in line like that.
Yeah, this was my number 8 as well. I noticed the bass in the song, and I think it stuck out because it was very crackly. It was very like while it was playing, and I don't know. I thought maybe the the YouTube version at first, but then like comparing it to how the rest of the album kind of sounds here and there with the drum sound and stuff, I think it was just how it sounded on this song. I don't know if they were going for, but
It was
not a huge
Fieldy
fan of the
playing
vocal.
bass.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I like how Tracy Guns. I think he did a good job on the guitar. I mean, at different times it kind of went into like this almost grunge feel, but then it also went into other times it just had like that classic hard and heavy tone. So it was kind of cool how it kind of went back
Yeah.
and forth like that, and
Tracy
it gave it a
Gunn,
little bit of a different vibe.
Tracy Guns from Guns N' Roses, of course.
Right.
Right.
He's just like right.
Right. Right. Oh man. Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm just agreeing now.
Yeah.
I don't want to get voted off the
Anything you
island.
say,
I'm just agreeing.
feel
Waiting
too.
for Steve to correct me.
This was my number 4, and I'll tell you why it's kind of high. Because there were a lot of things about this that did not hit right at all. One was the change to the bridge solo riff, the da 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 da, which wasn't played quite right. Didn't really like that. I actually audibly went eek when the guitar tone really fully hit. That was to me easily the worst guitar tone on the entire album. This song here. Now this bit I didn't mind, but I bet Ace had a conniption when or if he ever heard the beginning of this song, because this guy is playing it too precisely, just like he complained Bruce did. I don't mind that, but I know Ace had a problem with it. Now, why it's so high on my list though is this guy Tracy nailed this absolutely on the head as far as doing the original justice, but also throwing his own little bits into it. I freaking loved the little lead breaks between the vocal lines. Perfect.
That was cool.
Yeah.
I feel like yeah. Okay. Next up, Cold Gin. John Norum. Again, no idea. Number
Europe?
6. Europe, okay. He's from Europe, apparently.
Yeah. No, I thought the same thing. I had to look it up because I'd never heard that name before.
Number 6 here. Really interesting take on the song. And then it's kind of weird that you just mentioned what you did about the last track. And I felt like I said almost the same thing about this. I like how there's the added little licks in between the lyrics on this one. And after the solo section, it breaks down into like almost a little bluesy riff there for a minute. And but then we get back into the original groove of it, and then that takes the song out.
Yeah, this was my number 1 actually.
Oh, really?
Yes, vocally, I feel like I'm not sure. It wasn't him singing; it was somebody else, right? I'm pretty sure
This was
somebody else
Jason
that sang.
McMaster again. So this
Okay.
is the same dude that did Snowblind.
Yeah, Jason Newstead
Yeah,
sang it.
yeah. He vocally, I feel like he was kind of similar to Gene in this song, and I mean that was kind of cool. I felt like he was kind of emulating Gene a little bit. But John Norm was just beautiful on the guitar in this song. He did an awesome job. I mean, it was just banging from start to finish, man. It was the closest to the original that I had heard, but also it was done in their own way. So, and it just made it so good. Like, yeah, exactly what Luke said about the last song is how I felt about this one. And I like Europe so much. So, like, it was just great. Like, I liked it. So, like, yeah.
I only like
ramble,
two
but
songs.
I loved it. Yeah.
All right. 8 for me. I side with Steve. Did not like this. The extended intro was cool, but it felt like it was missing the main riff. I'm not even sure the rhythm guitar was playing it. It sounded more like they were playing Paul's part of it, which is similar but not, the main riff. I actually noted Tracy Guns ought to show this guy where little lead breaks are appropriate and when you're just soloing over the whole song. I mean, the dude is clearly good, but I kind of felt like he didn't even really learn the song.
He was kind of Vinny-ing over it.
Yeah, that's kind of what it felt like to me. So, yeah, me and Steve are leaving the island together.
Bye.
Oh, so next up we have New York Groove.
I'm judging you all on your review of this song. I just hope you know that. You can judge me all you want for Shock Me, but I'm judging you on how you review this version of the song.
Based on that being your number one, I mean, ugh.
Shock Me wasn't my number one.
Huh? Cold Gin.
Shock Me wasn't my.
Cold Gin.
Yeah, Cold Gin was my number one.
I thought we had a clear number one all across every board, but apparently not.
Yeah, apparently not.
No.
New York Groove by what?
I said that's how it usually goes with us. We're either very, very close or we're completely opposite.
Sorry, Harry, we're not trying to be mean. We're just being honest. That's what we're all about.
Yeah.
We calls them like we sees them.
I'm picky.
New York Groove by Bruce Boyle. No idea again who this guy is. But this is my number 5. Now, this is another perfect example of unexpected. Starts off with the typical New York Groove intro that we know, and then all of a sudden you hear a record scratch, and then it just completely changes. The music is not anywhere near, what the original is. It's like it's a more kind of laid back, kind of cool sound to it. Not a bit of disco. And actually, I kind of, at times, could almost picture Lenny Kravitz singing this version. It's almost, like, man, if only he would have done this on Kiss My Ass or something, But yeah, it's just another case of, you see the song and you think, it's just going to be that typical same old disco beat cover, and then it just turns into something completely different. So I thought that was really clever, and it wasn't just something slopped together and thrown on there like Shock Me and some of them other ones. But yeah, really, really surprised, and kudos. Kind of wished I never had mentioned it. Harry says, "Hey,
Poor Harry.
You asked for it. Don't worry, we have some doozies coming up, like Gene Simmons."
Yeah.
This is still going to beat out a lot of the trash that we've had, quite a bit.
Yes. This was my number 10 because it was a giant turd on this album.
Oh, Lord.
I can honestly say that I prefer the Ace version, and I don't like the Ace version. So I just wanted it to be over at about 3 seconds in. I was done. I was like, no, I can't.
Well,
But
that's
the
when the
bass, I
record
mean, it
scratch
was
happened.
definitely grooving for New York groove.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, oh no. So everything you pretty much said about Shock Me is how I felt about this song. Because I was like, I was so hoping and looking forward to it and thinking it's got to be better than the Ace version. I was wrong. I can't. I tried
I'm
my
not
best
saying it's
not to. I
better than
really did.
the Ace version, but it's a nice kind of breath of fresh air to hear a different take on it.
Yeah, it definitely was for sure. Like completely, just I mean, it
Because
was
the
like on
the
the
Ace
other end of
version
the
and the
spectrum.
original version are obviously so freaking close. It's like, okay, it was good to hear
Right,
a different take instead of someone doing the same tired, disco
right,
beat thing on it, and
right. Yeah, and I'm not sure who is Bruce Boyer. I don't think he even. I don't think he had
No,
a Wikipedia page. Did he?
no, he didn't.
I'm not sure who.
never heard the
Now
name
he
until
did.
that.
Right.
Yeah.
He did actually play on several of these songs, though. This was the only one that was like considered his, but he apparently played rhythm guitar on a lot of these other ones on this album.
What's he from, Steve?
Steve will know.
They'll be like, oh, he was the original guitar player in Slayer in the early days.
That'd be good.
Yeah, it would.
So, this New York Groove is my number 9, but immediately intrigued from the moment that record scratch hits. Of course, that perks the ear up. What are they going to do? And then there was no way to expect what happened. There was absolutely no way to expect that it would go into that. And at any other time, I would have hated that and given it the exact same review Savannah just did. But right at the moment I listened to it, it was hilarious. My face lit up. I was grinning ear to ear. I laughed a little bit. It's kicking the same nerve as Rock and Roll All Night from Toad the Wet Sprocket. And it was great, and I thought it was funny. Now, would I listen to it again? Probably not, but I did enjoy it the one time.
You had to mention that Rock and Roll All Night.
Yep. Yeah.
I agree, Harry.
Wow. All right. Ace is overrated and Tommy's a better guitarist. How about that?
Shots fired! But I agree.
I'm just being mean. I'm just being
Man,
mean.
we're getting like in the reels with this episode.
We're on YouTube now. That's what happens.
Yeah. Yep.
I just did a quick Google search on Bruce, blah, 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 and he played in Racer X, was the most notable band.
So with Paul Gilbert, then, right?
Maybe.
No,
He also
what am I thinking
played.
of?
Wait a minute. He was in Racer X from 86 to 89. So would that have been? Let's see. Sorry, guys. We got one song left, and it's the best one.
Yeah, Paul
so
Gilbert was
give
in
us a
that.
minute. So he played with Paul Gilbert.
Yeah. Wow.
And Scott Travis
that's
on
a
drums.
really cool lineup too. And that Juan Alderete guy who played bass on most of this album too.
And Scott Travis. How about that?
Yeah. That's cool.
So there. All right.
Now we.
Last. What?
I said now we kind of know.
Knowing's half the battle. All right, we come to the end of the album, and good Lord, the best ending to any album we've done so far on this whole entire list, and probably maybe the entire list. Oh, Lord. Everyone say it. Fractured Mirror by the great
Yes.
Dimebag Darrell.
Yes.
Number one.
Yeah.
Everyone's number one except Savannah.
It's number 2, okay?
Sorry, Ace. This version rules. Dimebag, probably the biggest Ace fan that ever lived, and such a legend. Not enough words to speak about how great of a player he was and how much he's missed still. Uh, Dime took this song, made it his own, and I know he did it out of pure love and respect for Ace. But wow, did he more than nail it? It definitely did not. Or I don't want to fail to mention Vinnie Paul on the drums here as well, obviously. I tell you, next to Eddie and Alex Van Halen, Diamond Vinnie had such a great pocket with their playing. I've always imagined that all the Pantera classes pretty much wrote themselves with the way those two just gelled together. Yeah, I agree, Harry. Still gives me chills when I hear it. I mean, it's, God, like, so spot on. And then, of course, all the things he adds to it. And, Vinny adding some cool drums to it. And, this, you could tell this was a labor of love with this version. Like I said, Dime, a lot of people knew Dime was a huge Ace fan, had the solo album tattoo on his chest. Ace signed it, and then he tattooed that in and everything. So phenomenal version. Can't say enough. I definitely like this version better than the original, and that's something you're not going to hear me say a lot when it comes to these lists, but this is one of those. So, man, just never gets old. I'll listen to this thing a million times and love it.
Yep. No, this was number 2 for me. And it just, I mean, the original has so much raw emotion and passion in it, and he just, I mean, I definitely feel like Dimebag just hit that mark and then some. He helped bring out that passion, that rawness to it. And I mean, his tone and his playing, it just helps to bring out everything about this song that is just so great.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, I mean, again, this is the kind of song that you feel like you should be out somewhere and you should just, in solitude, just taking in the surroundings and enjoying life. You know what I mean? It takes you to a whole nother world when you hear it. And he just did such a great, phenomenal job of bringing that imagery to life. He did so good. Like, I think it was just, yeah, except for maybe on the Kiss My Ass when they did Black Diamond. I think that this one might be tied with that just because it was just so good.
Yeah,
Both
that
of those
that was
versions.
epic too. That Black Diamond.
Yes, for sure. And he did a great job, a fantastic job on this song.
I mean, my God, he when he was doing the acoustic, like it sounded like it was just taken from the actual record, or Ace himself was playing. I mean, that's just how the tone and everything about it. He was just so spot on with that. It's amazing.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah. Harry, it's funny you say that because I said the same thing in my notes. The perfect cover.
Yeah.
The perfect cover, definitely number 1, hands down. Now this is the one that I was waiting for the whole album.
Yeah.
Even when I hit play right at first, I was just hoping that the whole album was kind of like what I had heard about Fractured Mirror. Heard nothing but absolutely great views about this version, and from Dimebag and Vinnie Paul, who could expect less? And they delivered 100%. And so far, this is the perfect cover, so far as I'm concerned.
Oh, yeah.
Everything that I talked about earlier in this album, as far as kind of trying to find that line between staying true to the original and putting your own spin on it without basically making it a whole different song. And this is what I would point people to if they ask what exactly do you mean? It's got Pantera-esque production style. It's so clearly Vinnie Paul playing drums. It's so clearly Dimebag playing some of those guitar parts, but it's true to the original. You can still tell that it's Fractured Mirror. You can still hear, just like you said, that acoustic. They nailed that tone. You know what I mean? Everything about it is exactly what I would have done if somebody said, "Hey, could you do the perfect cover of Fractured Mirror?" Right after I said, "No, I probably couldn't." This is what I would be aspiring to if I were to try to do that. Loved the unexpected ending. Didn't see that coming, but man, great way to end this compilation.
I mean, the part where he's on the whammy pedal, his signature squeal thing, like God, that part there just gives you chills. Like,
Yeah.
Killer. I want to listen to it again now.
Yeah.
All right, so I give the album a 4 overall. Fractured Mirror, Snowblind, Rip It Out, and Rock Bottom were the tracks that saved it for me. It's almost a disgrace hearing how some of these tracks sound a bit rushed and slopped together, possibly even with a drum machine. And these are on the same album with such a masterpiece as Fractured Mirror by Diamond Vinny, where you can just hear that they put a ton of love and work into it. Not to take away from, like the guys in Anthrax and Sebastian Bach either, who obviously put a lot of love into it, being huge fans as well. But that's why I get so pissed off with the way like Shock Me turned out, and Hard Luck Woman, some of these other tracks that's on this same album as this, and it's like this should have been on Kiss My Ass or an official like Kiss tribute or something.
Yeah,
there's definitely a few tracks that I'll add to the iPod from here, that's for sure. Fracture Mirror already being on there, but it's like this lineup of musicians would have been a better fit, I think, for like say the Kiss My Ass album, as far as the diversity and the style. It's a shame that some of this stuff didn't end up on Kiss My Ass or again something else. Come to find out, I guess there's another Ace tribute album that Dimebag is on, and I believe he actually sings on that one along with the guitars. And now I totally forget what song he does, but I definitely want to look for that as well and check it out. But again, if you're a fan of Ace like I am, give it a listen. There thankfully are plenty of strong moments on here versus the sad, weak moments, for sure. So, if you have for some reason never heard Fractured Mirror by Dimebag, you need to jump over there immediately and listen to it on YouTube or wherever, because it is just, Epic doesn't even do it justice. I agree,
Yeah,
Harry. I would love to. Sorry, I would love to see like some Dimebag like outtake stuff come out one of these days, or even Pantera in general. All that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm surprised we haven't got anything like that yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Overall, I gave it a 7 out of 10. I mean, it just surprised me again with, how great everyone did. I'm always hesitant when it comes to cover albums, especially if it's like Kiss songs like this, just because usually they can't measure up to the originals, and it's hard to nail those kind of songs when they're just so like known and well known, and they're so phenomenal already, and then like how do you measure up to that? This one was definitely an exception, though. I feel I was genuinely surprised by how great it came out. And there were some rough spots with some of the vocalists, and then some of the drum sounds here and there, and then overall the production could have been better in spots. But the guitarists, that guitar wise, I feel like they just had competent musicians for this album for sure. And a lot of the times I feel like they nailed the solos. There wasn't one that was really that disappointing to me. Like, I was just overall surprised at how well it actually came out and turned out. Like, and I always like that when that happens, especially when it's a cover album, that I can be surprised by it and like it so much. Because, like I said, it's hard to measure up to the originals, especially when it comes to Kiss, So it's like I was like, yay, finally, like two cover albums like in a row, like almost that just they hit my expectations and then beyond, like in a way I didn't think that they were going to. So I was very happy with it.
Snowblind is the song that he does on the other tribute album. He does lead vocals and guitars.
That would be interesting.
Definitely. Definitely gonna have to check that out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I gave this one a 5.5, and I had originally given it a 6, and then I went and looked at what I gave Kiss My Ass, and I gave that one a 6, and I felt like I didn't really put these quite in the same tier, so I just bumped Spacewalk down just a little bit. This is definitely a solid compilation. Wouldn't put it above Kiss My Ass, but they definitely got an amazing set of guitarists, and I think they more or less nailed the track listing as well as far as which songs should be on this. I'm still not really sure what makes Hard Luck Woman or really Deuce an Ace song, but, whatever. Those are still good songs. Yeah, yeah. I would like to hear. I would have liked to have heard this done to the same scale as Kiss My Ass. I kind of feel like Spacewalk spent its budget on the guitarists instead of the production. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the other comp definitely had better overall production. I would love to have had something like this with a more kind of focused effort, and maybe less of the tracks that felt thrown together. Because who knows what other songs were submitted for Kiss My Ass that didn't get used? You know what I mean? How many stuff like that came in where Gene and Paul were maybe like, this kind of felt like throw together, and so they throw it out. There were a few times I feel like they tried to go after era-specific Kiss guitar tones, and sometimes it didn't work too well. Wish some of the artists had used their normal tones to help kind of imprint their style on the songs a bit more, especially Satchel. That was the one that really got me. And honestly, that kind of opens it up to the reason this album didn't score higher just generally is that none of the songs other than Fractured Mirror came as close to matching what I kind of personally like to hear in a cover version. Change the song too much. Now it kind of seems like you could have written your own song instead of doing someone else's. And then, you can go a little too far in that direction. And although hilarious, kind of looking at you, New York Groove. On the other hand, you do an exact note for note copy of someone else's song, and now I'm wondering why I shouldn't just listen to the original. Again, nobody here went all the way this direction, thankfully, but there were times I kind of wish they had put a little bit more of themselves. It's a fine line to walk, and it's more than a little subjective to just my taste personally. So as per usual, if the artists were happy with their versions, that's all that matters.
Right.
I personally felt like Fractured Mirror absolutely nailed that dynamic, and personally I wish the other songs felt like they were even a fair comparison.
Absolutely. It's like this isn't anything related to the Ace Frehley thing, but there's a cover version of Hotter Than Hell, and that's why I love it so much, because it is completely nowhere near the original version, not even a note. Like, it is just so off the wall and like wacky. It's this group called Vulgar Sandwich, and
that's right. You sent that to me one time.
Oh yeah, I mean, I just love the version. I mean, the guy almost sounds like Dracula singing it at times, and it's real goofy, and that's what I love about it, because it's so different from the original. It's so cool to hear how you could take a song and write it another way and make it, and it's still good.
Yeah.
I'm looking at so the other one came out the next year in '97. It's called Return of the Comet, a tribute to Ace Frehley. You got Brian Tichy on it doing Rip It Out. L.A. Guns doing Cold Gin. Eric Singer and Carl Cochran doing Strange Ways. You got the Presidents of the United States of America doing Shout It Out Loud.
Oh, man.
Wow.
And then, of course, Dimebag with Snowblind. Todd Howarth doing Dancing with Danger. Carl Cochran and Eric Singer again doing Love Her All I Can. Oh, God, Gilby Clarke doing Rocket Ride. I'm afraid to hear that.
Oh, no.
Mitch Wiseman and Richie Scarlett doing Remember Me. There's another New York Groove. It says Trail Mix, whatever that means. So I'm assuming it's yet another weird version. Interesting. Something called the Comet Band. I'm not sure what that is, but they have 2 tracks on here. And then you have Bruce Kulick also on here doing Liar. So definitely want to find this and give it a listen too. So
Interesting.
what's this Comet band? That's interesting.
Ballroom sandwich.
You said vulgar, didn't you? Vulgar sandwich?
Yeah.
Vulgar sandwich, yeah.
Okay. I like ballroom sandwich better.
Yeah, it's kind of good.
Because if I was in a ballroom, that's where I would be as a food. I don't dance, so like, meet me at the
That just
snack
brings-
table.
Yes. That just brings to mind the Psycho Stick song, This Is Not a Song, It's a Sandwich.
Yes.
Yes.
Good stuff.
Yes.
Do we have the final tallies ready?
Yes, indeedy.
Alrighty.
Okie dokie. So this album ended with a 6.4 average out of 10, which does put it pretty good. If you believe it, that puts it above Kiss My Ass average.
Oh, wow.
At
Wow.
that one got 6.3, so just barely above that in its average overall. That does put it above most of this list, actually, come to think of it. I don't. It's tied with Wendy O. Williams, 6.4. But yeah, actually quite a bit above a lot of the stuff that we've rated. No ties this week. Woohoo!
Thank God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although pretty much everybody that voted was generally in agreement, so maybe that's part of the reason why. Oh yeah, Harry knows Psycho Stick. That's amazing.
We
Yeah,
love Psycho Stick, Harry.
Oh, yeah.
They're the best.
definitely.
One of my old bands did
Uh,
a show with those guys years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, back at the Blue Cat and Bell Fountain.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Nice. The guy that runs sound at the Courtyard Lounge, Kyle Hester, told me that he ran sound for Psycho Stick at Rockstar Pro Arena before it closed. And he told me that they were the best band that he ever ran sound for. Not like necessarily musicianship wise, but he said pretty much all he had to do was put a mic up to it and turn it up. And he said it sounded that good without EQ, without compression. He barely had to move any of the faders. They just sounded just like their album, just completely naturally.
That's awesome.
And that's
That's awesome.
yeah, that's a hard thing to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like even those live shows they've been doing on YouTube since all this stuff happened, even that sounds great. Like the mix that they achieve on that.
Yeah. I sing the NSFW song at work. That's amazing. All right, so 10th place this week. Shock me. Anybody surprised there?
No.
Yeah. Yes, definitely. And by far, not even a little bit last place. Very, very last place. In 9th place, New York Groove. Again, not too horribly surprising there. In 8th place, Parasite. In 7th place, Hard Luck Woman. In 6th place, Cold Gin. In 5th place, Deuce. In 4th place, Rock Bottom. And our top 3 for this week, I think we can all pretty much get on board with this. In 3rd place, Snowblind. In 2nd place, Rip It Out. And of course, without even a close contest, 1st place, Fractured Mirror.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Get them exported. Yeah. All right. So we've got that Vinnie Vincent album next week, right?
Correct.
I thought we were done with
Euphoria.
the albums. Huh.
No, we actually have, I believe, 2 more Vinnie Vincent.
Okay.
That's a great
Technically.
question. I kind of forget now. Yeah, so we've got Euphoria, which I don't remember now. Is Euphoria just an EP or is it a full length?
Actually, I believe it is just an EP. Let me double check here. Excuse me. Come on. There we go. Euphoria. Yeah, it's only a 4-track EP.
Gotcha. So we'll do that, and then that's the last thing we've got for a while. And then right near the end of this Second Coming series, we'll be reviewing each disc of the Warrior collection separate, and that'll be 6 weeks worth of Vinnie Vincent right there. And then after that, we'll do the Kiss World greatest hits, and then that'll be it for the Second Coming.
So, Euphoria only being 4 tracks, but yet every song is like 5 minutes plus, so it is a bit lengthy. But
about as. I was just gonna say it's about as much of an EP as Black Widow was.
Yeah, it's a bit girthy.
Do you know what I just realized?
What?
I looked over at Eli's screen, and up in the corner above him, there's Paul's face in the border, and then his Gene mask back there.
Oh wow, I see what you mean.
See that?
Oh yeah,
cool. It's cool.
That looks planned. That's hilarious.
I mean, of course, I planned that.
Yeah,
Nice.
I looked over there and I was like, "What? What am I looking at?"
Yeah, it's a Gene Simmons wrestling mask.
Yes.
So I am trying to find this other Ace Frehley tribute album, and it is not easy. I'm not having much luck. It's not even on iTunes. Wow.
So Harry, right before that, Harry says he's so sorry we have to do 6 weeks of Vinny. So right prior to that, we'll do the Ace Spaceman album, but then right before that, we're gonna have 11 straight weeks of the Gene Simmons Vault. So yeah, we're gonna have a lot of really interesting stuff right around that area.
So yeah, after the Vinnie Vincent Euphoria next week, we have that Greatest Kiss compilation. So that's definitely going to be a cool one. And then right back, actually we go back to Ace Frehley 2 in a row. We have the 12 Picks and Loaded Deck, which I believe are both compilations again. One of them I think is mostly live tracks, if I'm not mistaken.
It's something like that.
Yeah.
They're both considered like greatest hits, but one is studio and one is live or something.
And then not too long after that, we finally get into the Union and ESP stuff. Really excited about that. We got Eric Carr, Rockology. Start getting into the Bruce Kulick stuff a little bit later, and so yeah, I mean, a lot of great stuff still to come.
Yes,
We're
getting into some of the weird stuff.
Yeah, finally. Does anybody out there have this Ace Frehley tribute? Because I cannot seem to find it very well.
What's the name of it?
It's called Return of the Comet, a tribute to Ace Frehley.
Oops.
All these sites that supposedly have it to download look like they're just a bunch of, you know how it takes you to a bunch of dumb stuff. And
right, yeah.
Let's see. I might have found it here. Let's see if this actually downloads. And then it's like one giant FLAC file, so I'll have to separate all the tracks. It's downloading. We'll see what happens. We might need to add this one to the list too. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. we do have a lot of Ace as it
There
is.
are 19 tracks on it.
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh, it's on YouTube.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
17 tracks.
Oh, that "Take Me to the City" song is on this.
Hmm.
That was supposed to be on this tribute, or that it said it was on this tribute, but then it really wasn't.
It's not listed on the track listing on this on Discogs, so maybe that was a bonus. Well, maybe.
Oh.
Well, yeah, if those are all on there, I might just have to do it that way.
Do 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 do.
All right, everyone. So that wraps it up. So thank you all for participating. If any of you want to come on here with us, maybe next week or whenever, let us know. It's real simple. And so until then, we're going to get out of here and see you next week for the Vinny Vincent Euphoria EP. Again, short albums. So maybe we'll try to come up with something else to throw in next week's episode. Maybe surprise you guys a little bit with something.
Boo.
So, yeah.
Ah.
All right, guys. Everyone take care. We'll see you later.